Top 10 most dangerous kids that killed their parents. Kids killing their parents are sporadic cases, but yeah, there are still some cases, so keep watching the video to the end so you know about some of the most dangerous kids. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll go over the top 10 most dangerous kids that killed their parents. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10. Tyler Bansit. Kicking off our list with number 10, we have Tyler Bansit. Tyler Bansit was a struggling college biology student who argued with his mother about his poor grades at the University of Alabama in May 2015. The argument became so heated that he killed his mother with a single blow to the head. According to WHNT News, Tyler Bansit, as part of his plea deal, was sentenced to 25 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years. Bansit was arrested while a student at UAB in 2015. Furthermore, he admitted that he killed his mother due to an argument he had with her about his grades. Number 9. Kip Kinkel. Kip Kinkel and his family lived above a trout stream in the idyllic town of Springfield, Oregon. However, something troubling lurked underneath the surface, amid his freckly face and veil of normalcy. In his middle school yearbook, he was named most likely to start World War III. He allegedly boasted of putting firecrackers in the mouths of cats and skinning a squirrel alive. Kip's fascination with weapons and abuse prompted his father to make the fatal decision to buy him guns to rechannel his unhealthy fixation into a harmless hobby. Kip murdered both of his parents in May 1998 using a .22 caliber rifle purchased by his father. He reportedly told his mother, "I love you, Mom," before shooting her. He took his parents' car to school the following day and shot 51 bullets into the school cafeteria, killing one person and wounding 23 others. Number 8. Stacey Leonard. Stacey Leonard claims that her father began molesting her when she was in 3rd grade. It soon escalated into full-fledged sexual intercourse, usually when her father was so drunk that her mother threw him out of her bedroom. He often performed oral sex on Stacey, which sometimes caused her to climax, creating another layer of guilt and uncertainty. When she rejected his advances, he became abusive against her, and when her mother discovered Stacey's blood-splattered panties or heard her crying in the basement with her father, she did nothing. Stacey wanted to kill her father after he started assaulting her younger sister Christy in 1990. On July 4th, she took a rifle and fired at him as he was sleeping, striking him in the collarbone. He jerked up, not realizing he'd been wounded, and screamed at Stacey to call 911. She claims that when he began criticizing her for taking too long to make the call, she thought to herself, "He doesn't deserve to live," and shot him in the head. In 2009, Missouri's governor commuted Christie's life sentence to 20 years, citing the violence against her at her father's hands. She was released after 18 years in prison. Number 7. Seth Gonzales. Seth Gonzales, a member of an Asian family living in Australia, exhibited unusual behavior that marked him as an odd bird. He posed topless on a tribute website to him, which he said was set up by a family friend, but was entirely designed by him. He was also a liar and had been lying to his friends about having cancer for years. At the age of 21, he realized he was a failure and planned to murder his relatives, presumably to get his hands on their fortune. He came home one afternoon in July 2001, took 2 long knives from the kitchen, walked into his sister's bedroom, strangled, bludgeoned, and stabbed her until she died. When his mother returned home an hour later, he murdered her as well. When his father returned home a little more than an hour later, Seth attacked him to death, puncturing a lung and partly severing his spine. He painted "Fuck Off Asians, KKK" on one of the walls to hide his tracks. However, his pathological deception resulted in many conflicting claims, and the disclosure of a previous botched attempt to poison his family with poisonous beans. Gonzales was arrested and subsequently accused of murder. Number 6. Joseph Lyle Menendez. Joseph Lyle Menendez and his sibling Eric seemed to have it all, except what their parents owned, which was a lot, given that their father was a wealthy film executive. They lived in a Beverly Hills mansion previously occupied by Elton John and Prince. But, having no success in their personal lives, these two parasital jet-setting rich boys took a shotgun one night in August 1989 and shot their parents so many times they were unrecognizable. Their attitude at their parents' funeral appeared a little shaky, as did the fact that they squandered an estimated $1 million of their inheritance within the first 6 months of murdering their parents. After being charged with murder, Eric and Lyle's female defense attorney opened a can of worms by accusing Eric and Lyle's father of anally and orally abusing them for years before they erupted in a deadly act of rape survival rage. The defensive plan failed, and both brothers are now serving life sentences. Number 5. Jasmine Richardson. Jasmine Richardson of Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada, was just 12 years old when she fell in love with Jeremy Steinke, a 23-year-old man who fantasized being a 300-year-old werewolf who enjoyed the taste of blood. Naturally, Jasmine's family objected, so Jeremy and his friends decided to watch the film Natural Born Killers, in which a pair of gun-toting love-struck weirdos murder the girl's parents. Hours later, in April 2006, Jeremy and Jasmine would stab and hack her parents and her younger brother Jacob to death. When police discovered her father, they found his body to be almost completely drained of blood. Jeremy and Jasmine were both convicted of 3 counts of murder. Jasmine is considered to be the youngest person in Canadian history to be accused of murder. Because of her age at the time of the murders, she received the complete 10-year sentence she served just 4 years before being released. Jeremy will be imprisoned for the remainder of his life, which may be forever, because he's a werewolf. Number 4. David Braum. Friends from David Braum's Minnesota high school portrayed him as a nice guy who wouldn't even dare to step on a flower. However, his gentle exterior concealed a dark side, which he indulged in through listening to intense punk and thrash music such as Suicidal Tendencies. One evening in February 1988, after reportedly arguing with his father about the tracks on one of his cassettes, Braum picked a giant axe and bludgeoned his father, mother, sister, and brother to death with 56 powerful blows in total. He showed up at school the next day with a new black-dyed mohawk haircut and boasted to a female classmate that he'd murdered his family. Braum was sentenced to life in prison after a judge accused him of having a pathologically ill, depressed mind. Number 3. Roberto Martinez Marinero. After a conflict with his mother about whether he prioritized his girlfriend and children over the rest of his family in June 2015, 25-year-old Roberto Martinez Marinero of Omaha, Nebraska, beat and stabbed his mother with a baseball bat before burying her still-living body in a ditch. His mother would die as a result of the wounds she had received. Marinero even hurled his 4-year-old brother off a bridge over the Elkhorn River and threw his 11-month-old half-brother into a dumpster during his psycho tantrum. Not exactly the best way to demonstrate that you choose your family over your spouse. Number 2. Esme Sing. Esme Sing was a delicate adolescent living in Overland Park, Kansas, a tedious and square place. Esme reports in numerous blog posts that her success-driven Chinese parents were so controlling that she felt strangled. For example, she claims they grounded her for scoring 96% on an exam, threatened to transfer her to another school district to punish her for getting 3 B's on a report card, and promised to sell her piano if her conduct didn't change. Then, in August 2005, Esme took a knife and fatally stabbed her mother. Number 1. Lowell Lee Andrews. Lowell Lee Andrews was labeled Wolcott's nicest kid. During a Thanksgiving visit to his family in 1958, the 18-year-old zoology student read a Dostoevsky novel upstairs while his mother, father, and sister crouched around a TV downstairs. He shaved, put on a suit, and stepped downstairs with a revolver and a rifle after he finished reading. He fatally shot his sister Jenny Marie between both eyes with a single bullet. He fired 6 shots into his mother and 17 more into his father, who died while scrambling to the kitchen for safety. Lowell then went to see a movie, threw his weapons in a river, and returned home to inform the police that his parents had been killed. Officers became suspicious because of his apathetic attitude. Lowell eventually confessed when a family pastor who was visiting the crime scene convinced him. He did, saying he felt nothing when murdering his parents and later saying, "I just don't know why I did it." In November 1962, he was executed by hanging. With that being said, here we come to the end of our video. I hope you liked it. If so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Thanks for watching.